Good day, my name is Douglas, and I'm running 7 Days to Die, Alpha 19. This is the stable version. Excuse me. This is being run on my server, so this is a multiplayer version, although I do not have any other players at the moment. If this might be something you'd be interested in joining in, drop me a line. I'd be happy to take a look and see about getting you added to the server. So this is like the very beginning, and for most of you, you will have already seen this. So this will be boring for you. But there's always somebody who hasn't seen it. So what I'm doing right now is I am running through the initial quest to get players. This is kind of like both the training and start of the game, so it shows you how to play the game. And what I'm doing here is I'm just hitting or left clicking to collect plant fiber, and I'm doing that to create a bedroll. I have more than enough, but so we create it, craft it, it makes it. You see I also have one rock, I have a little bit of wood, and a lot more plant fiber. Dragging this down, putting it on my belt, and then we're going to place it. Now, you do want to be able to place these things because this is also sets your spawn point. If you die, you spawn at the last place that you put a bedroll. It also creates an icon on the map. You can see right there if you look at the top of the screen, so you can find your way back to it. There. And if you call up your map, you'll see that it's placed there as well. On top of that, I'm actually going to save a waypoint. And I do this for a couple reasons. One, when you first start the game, when you first start the game, okay, come on, there we go. When you first start the game, you're in a safe zone. No zombies are going to spawn here. Okay, I'm more or less safe. But if you stray too far from this point, you will start the zombie spawns. And so this is how I can kind of keep track of how far away I am. And then later on in the game, I just like to know where my start point is, so I know how far I've traveled from it. So this is actually a permanent marker for me. That's my personal choice. It's not something everybody does, so you don't have to do it. But like I said, it's something I do. And now I've gone ahead and gotten everything I need for a stone axe. This is actually a really critical tool. Stone axes act as a really bad weapon, but I can use this to break down rocks. I can use this to cut down trees, which I'm going to do right now. And the reason I do this, one, so I have a sufficient amount of wood to do everything that I'm going to be doing here later. Now if you'll look at the icon of the axe on my tool belt, which is the row of boxes at the bottom of the screen, you'll see that the health status, or the health bar for that particular tool, is fading. And I cut down the tree. I did get 2 seeds. I personally like to replant what I take. Again, that's a personal choice. I actually will break that particular rule on occasion. But for the most part, if I take a tree, I like to plant the tree back. You do have to be careful because you get 2 seeds. You can create forests. Now you'll see this stump. The reason I'm coming over here is because a stump not only does it give you wood, but there's also a chance it'll give you honey. And honey is important because it will help you cure infections. And And as it happens, I did get some honey that time. You don't always get it, but it's very nice when you do. Okay, look at my map again. You see I'm not too terribly far from my start point, so I'm still safe. And I need to go ahead and craft pants. And a shirt. And I happen to have had enough plant fiber to go ahead and create those. That's water down there. I'm actually looking for a big boulder right now so that I can get some more rock. The reason I want more rock, one, I happen to know that it will be something I need in to fulfill quests, but also it's the repair. It's a supply that I need to have in order to repair my axe. When you're using rock tools, it's never a bad idea to have a sufficiency of rock available. That, by the way, is a bird's nest. You get feathers there, and the reason I'm going for those is I happen to know I'm going to need them. You can also get eggs, which is a food. And if there's one thing you need to know about this game, especially in the early stages, you need to watch your food supply. Food and water. This is what we call a gore block, and it supplies you with a lot of different things. I, again, recommend you don't walk by them, you take them. Okay. Let's see, there is the rock. This is the boulder I'm looking for. And you'll see as I go ahead and chip this away, I'm getting rock. I'm also getting experience points. And I know this is so exciting to watch. But this video is just about the beginning quest, and then I'll go ahead and end it. So it'll be short. This rock, you take it in 3 stages. Each stage is 400 points. And you'll see, if you take a look at my stone axe, you can see that the health bar on it is just about exhausted. Okay, so tab brings up your menu. And then you just go ahead and click on the stone axe. You can see what the choices are here. I'm just going to go ahead and hit A, and it's repaired. And that repair took 1 stone away from what I had collected. The other reason I'm getting the stone is, well, you can see I'm supposed to make a wooden club here, and then I make a bow. It's going to be a primitive bow, but I need feathers and I need rock to make arrows for it. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the club. And there's the bow. And I'm just going to go ahead and go all in on the arrows. Ooh, 8 of them, yay. Okay, don't need this here. Don't need that, or that, or that. I like having this where I can find it. Okay, so as weapons go, the club sucks. I'm not even going to keep it, I just scrapped it. What I am going to create, going up here to my menu, let's see, I want to create a sledge. There we go, stone sledgehammer. Now, disadvantage to the sledgehammer is that it is very, very slow. Okay, need to create frames, so we'll go ahead and do that. But when you hit with it, the creature that you hit knows it's been tapped. Now I only have to make 1 of these, but frames are like one of the most useful things in the game to have. So I'm going to go ahead and create a bunch of those. Now you may have noticed I clicked on the sledgehammer and it essentially disappeared. It went down into my toolbar, and the way you do that basically is hold shift down and click, And when you do that, it shifts things. Okay, so we are heading back to my bedroll, which is right there. We need to place a frame. Again, that was shift click. Okay, there we go. Now, I told you how the stone axe is a useful tool. It's also a repair or upgrade tool. And for this, you actually left click. And there you go. And now I need to do a campfire. I do have enough wood. Good. Okay. Or stone. Stone. Okay. And there we go. That completes the quest. And now it gives us a map point to head to the nearest trader, which is 1 kilometer that way. Not too terribly far. I have seen them a lot further. Okay, so I have a sledgehammer. I've got a bow. Okay, I've got a few different items. Now, one of the things that we got was 4 skill points. And we need to go ahead and place those. And there's a lot of different philosophies on how to do it. I am still feeling my way through this, but I like to have advanced engineering up front. And the reason for that is that gives me a forge. And you just basically need a forge. There may be one at the trader, so I'm actually going to hold off on that, but it is a good thing to definitely get early along the way. Okay. Healing factor. You want this because this will let you heal. Otherwise, any wounds you take require intervention in order for you to heal. Let's see, where is... They've moved things around, so I'm not sure where everything is at the moment. Okay. They've changed Lucky Looter. I don't know if it's a good thing to get anymore, so I'm not going to. Here we go, Master Chef. God, you need Master Chef. That's 2. And I'm actually... I use a sledgehammer, so this is not a bad thing to have, and I'm going to hold off on my last point until I discover what I have available so far as resources at the trader. Now I am running and I'm holding the shift key down. That lets me run, whoops, careful. When you hold the shift key down, you run as opposed to walk. Uses up your stamina really, really fast, but gets you where you need to go faster. And remember, this is day 1. I have to have someplace safe to hole up by nightfall, or I'm screwed. Oh, good road. And you see I am definitely out of my safe zone at this point. There's my first zombie. And the other disadvantage of the sledgehammer is it uses stamina like going out of stamina. There we go. Now you may notice that that zombie came running at me. That's known as rage mode. If you do damage to a zombie, they get pissed off. And he hit me. Fortunately, no real damage, 10 points, but not something I want to have repeated. There's another house. Now those plants are also things that I can collect. You do that by hitting them essentially. I'm not currently collecting them because since I don't have a place to put things yet, I have to be careful about my inventory. If you take a look at your inventory, I need to rest here anyway. See these lighter spaces as opposed to these darker ones? This is your available inventory. You can fill that up without cost. Once you start filling these areas up, you use stamina faster, you travel slower. It can become quite the nightmare. Okay, this is an indication that there's a iron ore deposit underneath it. So you've got rock, you've got iron. There we go. You have potassium nitrate. You have coal, and then you have shell oil. So rock. You get to the point where you can identify the stuff just by looking at it. That is rock. That's iron. And so on. Once I get into an area where I'm going to stay, I tend to mark these spots because, yeah, you want to be able to find them. And how you deal with them, again, lots of different ways to deal with it. I do tend to do full-blown ones. Okay, and I need for you to stay down. I have started this game on the default setting, which is level 2, I believe. So, okay, I've got enough, there we go. So if you take a look underneath the tool belt, you'll see green and blue bars. The green bar is your food, the blue bar is your water. How hydrated you are and how hungry you are. Those do affect your gameplay, so you have to be careful about that. Oops, I missed. And he didn't. Head strike. One thing you do need to be careful about when you're trying to get resources, so either cutting down a tree or breaking up a rock, you want to be using your hammer, not your sledgehammer. Your axe, I'm sorry, your stone axe. That, by the way, is potassium nitrate. Oops. No, that's lead. Yeah, that's lead. My mistake. Okay. Now I generally create my first base right around where the trader is, just for convenience. And as it happens, we have a fire station right across the street, so I will probably be basing out of that. Okay. So pluses and minuses of the trader. Okay, here are all these lovely blueberry plants, and originally, like in Alpha 15, you used to be able to harvest those. You can't anymore. We have a chemistry station. It's destroyed. You still open it up, take a look at it, because there's stuff inside. A lot of times you'll actually find a schematic for the destroyed item inside. Okay. Right. And there's a workbench in here, so we're going to go check for that. And it's destroyed as well. But it has a better stone axe in there, so yay. I'm all about upgrading my tools. And then there's there's a locker over here. We go there because, yeah, clothes. Generally there's nothing up here, but I always like to check. Also, you get a better view at the top, see what's around you. So, for example, this looks like it's turning into a little town. Which is good. Used to be the traders would not be in towns, they would be out in the wilderness.
If you got the dukes, I'll make the time.
That was the trader, by the way. Then we have a vending machine. This is a good thing to know. I've got no money, but there's candy and food in there. Here we have a forge, and the forge is destroyed. But we have a forge schematic. That's great. That means I actually don't have to... I will eventually have to put it into, or points into that. Okay, go back in here to advanced engineering. Okay, I will have to put points there, but because I have the forge scroll already, I can either sell it, or I can put the point into something else for now and pick up the engineering item. Remember, as you go up in level, it gets harder and harder to get the points. Important thing to keep in track of. And I destroyed it. Okay, so there's absolutely nothing here, and no tool or no workbenches that I can use. So I'm going to map, and I'm marking this as a trader. You can get very confused trying to keep track of everything, so it's always a good idea to have this stuff marked. And that actually is going to end this particular video. I'm going to go ahead and take this fetch quest.
You looking to earn some dukes? If you finish 2 more jobs this week, I will give you Employee of the Month.
Yeah. And that's where we're going to go ahead and end this. This is the end of the first quest. And I'll pick this video up, or pick this day up later in another video. Thanks for joining.